I made it. I kind of wondered if I was going to make it on time or not for a minute. Oh, I'm going to try and put you in this holder here and let this thing charge while I talk. If we can do it this way, it'd be better for me. Yeah, it might be a little crooked to you and all that, but that's not the point. How's that? This is going to be part 3. Now, just to give you a little background, there's a guy named Scott Winslow Albert that has been messing with me for what he admits is 8 years now. Good afternoon, Roger Dodger. You might have to look under my lives to find the part 1, 2, 3 or whatever, or you might find it under my videos. But 1 and 2 is out there, and now we're going to do number 3. And the first one had a lot about the healing fields. And me, I don't pay much attention to them, but it's just to prove what a liar that Scott Winslow Albert is and how he's tried his best to mess with me. And he needs to get a little federal time over it. And hopefully, because yesterday the feds reached out to me and they're sending me a complaint form to sign and send back. I got that email today. But here we go with part 3. I don't remember exactly what this whole conversation is about or whatnot, so we'll go through it. I'll start and stop it, and I'll try to explain my end. Now, first and foremost, how these recordings come to light is I had a couple people terrorizing me, whatnot, and they befriended a lady called Rhonda and made her think all kinds of bad things about me. She thought I tried to get someone fired. She thought I hurt my dog. I mean, this is him talking to her and playing up to her and how sorry he is about me and what me or my friends would have never said or did nothing to that lady had he not done all this. So he sets all this shit up and then he comes back and plays victim. Here we go with a little bit of it.
It took me forever to calm down when he started talking about Steve's handicapped boy. Man, oh my.
Okay, it tore him up when I talked about Steve's handicapped boy. When I was up in Maine, Steve Sprague used the excuse that he couldn't go to the Maine concert. There was a concert up in Starks, Maine. Oh, I can't go. My crippled son, which I understood. Okay. Later on in life, he tells you he couldn't go because he was upset that I hurt my dog, that I was a dog abuser. Yet he didn't call the vet or nothing. You just never know what either one of these guys are going to say about which situation. But they never know that their phone calls or stuff are being recorded either.
My goodness, that just sent me through the roof. So,
and what that is about is Steve was messing with me and messing with me and messing with me. And I said, look, if you don't stop messing with me, I will put your boy on the side of the RV, And sure, I said that. Did I do it? No. I mean, I said I was going to put his grandma on the side of it. I didn't. They're going to tell you I did, but there's not one person in the world got a picture of it because it never happened. Just up in their delusional minds.
Yeah, I haven't been ignoring you. I've been here at the shop all weekend. And at work, I've been deep in drywall. I got 3 houses that need drywalled. There's 3 of us, and one of those guys is leaving. So, I'm responsible for mudding 2 houses and got to get it done by November. So,
hey, rats are good. They make great snake food. But if you're insinuating someone's a rat or something, well, you need a little bit better education.
Anyways, I want to say I appreciate it. Thank you for doing the research that you're doing. My tower is broke down. It's at a friend of mine's getting fixed.
If you listen, this is someone that lied to a lady to get her to research me and dig up things on my family and everything else. You plainly heard him say, thank you for the research and all. Well, why is she now all of a sudden giving me all this evidence? because she found out everything they said and everything they done was a lie and still is. Otherwise, I wouldn't have this.
Fixed, and like I said, I work a lot, and I don't have the time. Steve does a lot of things, and I'm in contact with Steve all the time, and I know that you two are in contact with each other.
Yet he sits back and says he has no contact with me, that he's not in this at all. Right there, he admits it. He's in contact with Steve and her, and has been for a long time.
I've never really wanted to ask you for anything. I just feel like with everything that's going on, I want you to concentrate on your safety and your well-being. And you know, just when you sit down and do the research, it's living it over and over and over. And I'm going to tell you, you know a little bit about me. There's so much more. There's so much more. So that's why Jim's BS doesn't trigger me, because if you know my whole story.
Question: if my BS don't trigger him, like he says and whatnot, how come this has been going on for 8 years?
You would understand that Jim hasn't scratched the surface. So, I've not really had a great life. It's all good, but he doesn't trigger me with this stuff. It doesn't make me cry. It doesn't make me, excuse me. I don't want.
He's trying to play on her to get her sympathy. This lady actually bumped me with her car in Topeka, Kansas. They had her so upset at me and everything. All their lives led up to that. And she has apologized to me for it and all. She's ready to go to the police and tell them her part and everything. And once the FBI gets involved, because it's different people in different states, everything will go good.
I want to jump in the truck and go drive out there and hurt him. I'm sure that's coming down the pike if he keeps messing around.
Right there, open threat. I wouldn't go hop in the truck, go hurt him, but I'm sure I'm going to if it keeps coming around. Right there, another one of his open threats. He's threatened me. He's threatened my daughter. He's threatened my grandkids.
But, when you have to go back through screenshots or go back through profiles to find that one comment and get a screenshot of it, I've had to go back through all of that to see those pictures again and things like that. And
hadn't had to do a damn thing except move on with his life. Take forgiveness, like I told them for a couple years now. I forgive you guys. Just move on. Drop this. Let this go. Be human beings about it and all. But there's such demonic and demons and lie every day that they can't stop it. I don't know what it is about them. But I had enough. I do give them forgiveness. Would I like to see them stop and go to jail? Oh, heck yeah. But the main thing is they're going to have to answer to the man above. Not me. And for me to have forgiveness, I got to give them. I wish them no harm, no ill. Justice, yes. But I know in the end, God's going to judge them. And if they haven't repented for what they did to me, I'd hate to be them.
I'm going to tell you this. Yes, my daughter was a heroin addict.
Oh, and also, around tape 6, he'd tell you he don't believe in Jesus or nothing. And see, that's the difference. I wholeheartedly believe in Jesus. I'm not a saint, never been a saint, won't tell you I'm a saint. But I do believe in the 10 Commandments, and I'm not going to lie to you or anyone else. I'm not going to roast my life in hell just to say a lie on someone, because I believe in my Lord and Savior, Jesus. Well, if you don't believe in Jesus and whatnot, well, I don't know what makes you such a great person and truthful.
I actually have 4 children. I have 4. 2 from my first marriage that I took custody of at a young age. I'm not a deadbeat dad. I wasn't a weekend daddy. By the time my kids were in elementary school, they were mine.
Now, he's not telling Rhonda. Of course, Rhonda found out when she was searching me for him and whatnot. I didn't have 4 kids. I had 1. I'm not a deadbeat dad. I was a single parent from age 3 to 11. And when she asked to go and be with her mom, I sent her to her mom. Me and her mom had a wonderful apart relationship. Bobby was with me for from age 3 to 11. And then from 11 to 17, 18, when she got married, she's been on her own. I don't have to brag or nothing and build myself up to anyone, but see, he's trying to buy in on her sympathy, and that's why she got involved. If I was her, I could understand. But you should see how bad and how dirty they do her. After she leaves her group, yeah, they made videos and stuff about her now, and what a bad, rotten. Same with Bryson, the truck driver.
And then, and my second wife, who I've known for, well, way before we had kids.
If you go through this whole series, he said he's always got along with his exes, and he's going to tell you that. I just got one yesterday or today where he says him and none of his exes get along. So I'd like to know which one it is.
She's got 2 kids, so when her and I got together, that was 4 kids, and our kids grew up together, so it was like they got to call their best friends brother and sister and all that. So, Ashley was my daughter. I have a son and a daughter, and Carla had a son and a daughter, and my daughter and her son were very, very, very close. Very close. And he would, even when he was in junior high, he would go up to the high school. That boy, and he was the smallest thing you'd laugh at if you walked in the room. But I tell you what, he'd go up to the high school and he'd want to know who's messing with his sister. And that kid, he'd go up there and fight high schoolers. But anyways, Ashley doing heroin, and I'm not the only person tried to, get her off of it. And Josh went and found her dealer and put some hands on and had some words with her heroin dealer, and told him, you selling to my sister again, and I'm coming back. Well, he didn't get a chance to come back. They found him, and they chased him down the road, ran his car off the road down in the ditch, and while he's sitting nose down in the ditch, somebody came up to the passenger side and put one in the side of his head.
And that's all sad. And I'm sorry that all that happened. But if you're not in the heroin and drugs, stuff like that don't happen. You wouldn't have to worry about a dealer. I'm glad and respectful that he was trying to help her and stuff. I'm just blessed. My daughter, my grandkids, they're not into drugs. They've never been into drugs. I'm not going to speculate why his did. But if you knew the whole story and all, she was involved in heroin. I didn't know anything about his son or nothing. And it's real tragic. And he's going to tell you here in a moment that the police said it was a suicide, and he said it was a murder, and this, that, and the other. And it's just a play on her sympathy, and she gets it now. He was left. He was left there. Nobody even found the accident for 4 hours. It wasn't until the sun came up, it got daylight, before people on their way to work realized there was a car down in the ditch. And the cops called it a suicide. Cops called it suicide. They said, well, he wrecked the car and he blah, 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 suicide. My son didn't commit. My son didn't commit suicide. You got to. Now, the reason that this don't faze me or nothing, and I don't mind playing and don't mind commenting on, is because before anybody, me or any of my friends, said anything about him or any of his family or anything, I was mocked about and talked about my murdered mom. And I got snapshots of their screen things of talking about my murdered mom being in a dumpster and this, that, and the other. And just recently, I've got snapshots, screenshots of where they're saying that my mama wasn't murdered. Because the newspaper don't use the word murdered. Okay? 4 people, alcohol party, 1 ends up dead, 3 people planning on where to put the body. That's murder. But because it was pled down, to get a conviction, don't change the fact that it was murder. But yet they're trying to make videos and stuff on the internet that I even lied that my mom wasn't murdered. Here in a little bit, he's going to give you a thing about how his daughter was, it'd be his son here. I was looking for something. Doggone it. Of course, I can't find it when I want it. But you're going to hear about how they sent him his son in ashes in the mail. He's the guy that just sent me a letter a week before the anniversary of my mom's death, her murder. Yeah, a joke letter says cremated ashes, be careful and whatnot. So no, my heart don't bleed for him whatsoever about his kids. Someone that would send someone like that, that's not a joke. That's a sick, twisted individual is what that is. No matter what happened in his life is tragic and all, but you don't use that to try and screw with someone else's life. I'll go ahead and play this.
You'd be kidding me. He was blocks away from his mom's. He was being chased. He was trying to get to his mom's. And yeah, it didn't happen. So the story is more tragic than that.
Yeah. He thought this was funny to send to me the week of my mom's murder, Christmas Day, the week before Christmas. The same one, boo-hoo-hoo. Thought that would be funny to send.
And they could ever make it out to be. So when, yes, is it sad? It's disgusting and it's vile is what it is.
This is disgusting and vile.
What was said to you and about you, what I've been able to read is disgusting and vile. That's why I've taken those screenshots of Corey's. I've put them everywhere. I have even gone so far as to go to his high school Facebook page because he still lives in the same town he went to school in. And
now he's confessing to taking pictures of his Corey's daughter and stuff and put and things he said up in the high school. Corey was just defending me when this guy was telling these people at the Healing Fields and stuff lies about me. Corey was just defending me. And this guy put Corey's daughter and everything into it. The same guy, his girlfriend, Shirley Borgen, and her daughter is now involved in it under their own admission.
I have put those comments on his high school's Facebook page for all to see. He wants to be that way. He's a punk. You've been watching him,
And what this is about, which it has nothing to do with Scott Winslow Albert. It does the fact that he started. But Corey made comments about Rhonda, the lady that he's talking to on the phone. Corey made some bad posts about her. But he thought that she was, which she was. She was doing all kinds of bad things against me and whatnot. But see, we're adults. She come to me and she apologized and everything. And now we're friends and whatnot. She knows the truth. She knows every bit of this is a lie. And I'm sure if Corey heard these tapes and stuff, him and her would be friends. He thought that she was, because he knew me. He didn't know her. He didn't know her head was full of lies and stuff. So I really hope Corey gets to hear these. And that's another reason I'm doing these. Just so people that's wondered or might want to know really wants, and they get to know the truth.
So anyways, it's not my trigger. As Steve says, it's not my kryptonite. That's not the button that you get to push with me. Okay? They can do that all day long. Matter of fact, my daughter, she may have been on heroin in 10 years, and it was fentanyl. She died.
He said they. He just admitted that he took Corey's pictures and stuff and put them in his high school. So it's not they. If anything, it's them or we.
She died of fentanyl. She got a hit of fentanyl, and they say she quit breathing before she hit the ground. And I had to drive from Indianapolis down to South Carolina. Took me 13 hours, and I had to go down there and I pulled the plug. I had her cremated, and they mailed her to me. Can you believe that? That's pretty messed up. I come home from work, and there's a box sitting on my front doorstep from some.
Now, I want to say I doubt the validity of that. The postman nowhere in the United States set a package on his door and left. This, a joke package, yes. But I have a good mailman. She didn't want me to come out there to that box and get a surprise like this and maybe drop dead of a heart attack or something. which I got a great postman. Anytime any remains are sent in the mail, which is legal to send, they have to be marked, they have to be tagged, and they must be signed for. So either he's admitting to illegal use of mail, or it didn't quite happen that way. I don't know. I wasn't there, but I do know federal law. Why do I know? Because he thinks it's funny to send me something like that on my mom's anniversary of her murder, but yet remind me that she wasn't murdered. Funny logic.
South Carolina. So see, Jim isn't touching the surface. Jim isn't touching any of this. I'm not telling this to make you sad or feel sorry for me. I'm telling this to let you know that Jim's trying to get under the skin of the wrong person. I just haven't found a way to fight back. My girlfriend doesn't want me fighting back.
I don't send him anything. I don't put anything about Scott Winslow Albert. Never send him anything or whatnot. See, it's all about, yeah. And at one point he'd say his girlfriend don't want him to do something. But you're going to find out that his girlfriend supports everything he does. And his girlfriend's daughter actually sent Corey the messages or something like that.
Doesn't want me being... There's a side of me that she hasn't seen. She's a really nice girl. My mother was abusive. I ran the streets. I was a punk. I went in the military. I've done construction all my life. I've had the shit beat out of me more times. It doesn't faze me. And so I got thick skin.
I went through my whole life and even did the carnival for a bit, drive tow truck and stuff. And I wasn't fighting all the time or nothing or whatever. I mean, I just don't know how to live that life, I was always in fight, getting bullies up. That didn't happen to me. I stayed working, driving tow truck and stuff. I'm not going to cry to you that I this, that, and the other, I bounced around in foster homes and stuff, but I still grew the hell up.
Yeah, I got real thick skin. I got a self-deprecating sense of humor. Nobody makes fun of me better than me, and nobody can shame me or guilt me better than me. When you're a father that's lost 2 children, I promise you, Rhonda, I've stood in front of the mirror and passed judgment on myself. You're soulless if you don't. So there's nothing they can say. There's nothing they can say that will make me feel guilty, or make me feel bad, or make me feel sad. I'm sad for my girlfriend. I'm sad for what they did to Shirley. She saw all that. She read those comments. Some of those.
The only thing anybody did to Shirley that's his girlfriend. I made one comment to the bar, a review. I tried to talk with him and whatnot, and then I left a review. How can you have employees like this? Why don't they just leave me the heck alone? Do you know that your employees are doing this to me? See, they call me a public figure and all, which I was and am. So I can't contact someone's employer and say, hey, look what your employee's doing. I got a lot of people out here that love and respect what I'm doing. It might come back to your business. Just like Steve's big thing. He's saying I'm contacting his boss up in Rochester. No, his wife's. No, I never talked to him. I tried to contact him. I'd like to talk to him and let him know the FBI is coming. You're going to be looking for another couple employees. But not to get nobody fired or nothing. I'd love to know. Do they know their employees are doing this?
Some of those, Corey not only sent me messages, he sent her messages too. So did Jessica. They're both vile. They're both vile, disgusting people.
Jessica is the reason that Steve Sprague come into all this. Steve Sprague was a real great supposed friend and all. He ripped Jessica off for $400. He got called out on it. And ever since, Jessica's been, and now that Scott Winslow Albert and Steve Sprague are together, of course Jessica's bad.
Matter of fact, I'm actually more. I got a bigger problem with Corey than I do Jim. Honestly.
Then why does he continue this to this day? I mean, yesterday I didn't get nothing, but they are still making YouTubes. They made another YouTube yesterday. I take that the same as getting something. I just don't go watch their stupid shit. But they're continuing it more and more. And so that's why I need to get these tapes out. Oops.
Jim isn't touching any of this. I'm one person. I just haven't found a way to fight back. My girlfriend doesn't want me fighting back. I was a punk. I wouldn't raise me. You know, and when you're a father that's lost 2 children, if I promise you,
sorry, Rhonda, I lost the spot.
I've stood in front of the mirror and passed judgment on myself. Make me sad or make me feel sad. I'm sad. Some of those, Corey not only sent me messages, he sent her messages too. So did Jessica.
There we go.
They're both vile. They're both vile, disgusting people. Matter of fact, I'm actually more. I got a bigger problem with Corey than I do Jim. You know, honestly.
If he thinks he had a problem, then let Corey get a hold of all this stuff. And he admits that it was Shirley's daughter that, I mean, Corey ain't going to do nothing stupid or whatnot, but it'd be really cool if he went and filed charges against him or brought him to court for slander and stuff. That would be cool.
You know, I still got some conversations between Corey and I. See, I don't think Jim knows that Corey's talked to the real Woody LePage. You notice nobody's talking about the real Woody LePage? You are listening to the real Woody LePage from Greensburg, Indiana right now. And you can tell that my voice doesn't sound like anything that man has ever put on Facebook other than the argument on the sidewalk 3 years ago. And then you can see that's me. I tell him that it's me. He's calling me Woody. I'm saying my name's Woody, and here I am right here. There's only been 2 people to ever hit me up using the real name, and that's Steve and Corey.
And all the emails and everything in the beginning when this started all come from Woody LePage. Him. His little bullshit bird emblem, his handyman service and all. So, I mean, I've got all the screenshots of that and everything. He can lie all he wants years later. He don't think for me, but I've got everything screenshotted.
And Steve has apologized profusely to me. So's Bryson. Told him don't apologize. It looks crazy. It looks crazy when you're on the outside looking in.
Now Bryson is the trucker. Right after this guy was outside my door, that started calling and pretending to be him. Now, there were times he said, I'm not him. But there's times it's like, if you apologize, I'll quit. And you do, and they didn't. You can ask any of my followers. It was between both of them. Now, Bryson didn't start doing any of this until Scott Winslow Albert was outside of the police department and all. And that's when he pretended to be Officer Daniels. All you got to do is go back and watch videos, and it proves everything.
And you know that. That's how you got started in this. But you didn't get wrapped up in it. You saw it for what it is. You know, can you imagine? I almost feel sorry for someone like Corey or Jim.
And that was her downfall, by the way. Because they had her all wrapped up. All this is going on when they're amping her up, and when she confronted me in Topeka and bumped me with her car and all. That's when all this was going on. It's been months since then. And she's went back and she's looked at the videos. Like when I say go back and look at the videos, they will tell you. She finally went back and looked at the videos and stuff and seen everything they're saying is nothing but a lie. And got her in one hell of a position that she still can go to jail on and do time on. But hopefully if she turns evidence against them, the police won't do nothing. But, you know, I have no control over that. She knows that can happen. And she and Bryson, the trucker that was doing most of it, they both know this. Bryson and her are both my friends now, and I have contact with both of them at any time. they seen through the lies and stuff, and that's why I'm able to bring you these and do this and stand up finally. Just like I'm taking the healing pills to court this year, probably.
Jessica, can you imagine being such adult, really adult, and having no life? I mean, just no life. That you spend your time doing that. It's sad enough that me and you and Steve and brother, that we have to spend our time, that you had to spend money to do research, that I have to take away from my job to.
He didn't have to take away from his job, and Rhonda would tell you she didn't spend one penny on her research. It's all free lookup. Rhonda's not rich by far, don't have much money or nothing, and everything. She used to work for the state. She's a pretty smart girl, and everything she does is a free lookup.
To go check things out. I mean, it's insanity. It's insanity. You can tell that this guy's got issues. This guy's got issues.
I do.
But anyways, you know, other than some crank calls and some crank text messages and stuff like that, you know, nobody has reached out to the real Woody LePage / Scott Winslow Albright. Now, the Greensburg Police Department know exactly who I am. As a matter of fact, the day the eBay auction went down, I turned myself into the police, believe it or not.
Why would you do that? To me, why would you do that? And he harps on that something about I said that the eBay gave me a paper, or I never stated that. That's why there's no video of that. What I stated is eBay knows, and eBay does know the IP address. And if the police ever get off their ass, which I'm sure the FBI will now, they will know exactly whose computer that came from. Hell, he could have used one at work. He could have used his girlfriend's. Could have used his girlfriend's daughter. He could have used any IP address to do it. I never said that they told me it was Woody LePage or Scott Winslow, like he's trying to declare. But, you know, let the FBI finally get involved, and we'll find out. And what that is I had this, see if this makes sense to you. The RV, they wanted me done. They wanted me off the road and everything. And I was done because of what they were doing. I went to go live with my family in Colorado. They had a house. They had been there a couple of years. I was first trying to sell the RV. It wasn't selling, and we was going to do a drawing on it. People didn't get in the drawing. So we decided to give it to a vet. And people was chipping in to give it to a vet. And long story short, they were still like $1,500 owed on it, whatever. I told, look, you know, Tom, you don't have to pay me a penny. It's yours. And I delivered this RV to Tom. He's on my thing here. And I gave it to him at a ceremony in Sedalia, Missouri. And the next day you see my live where I hop in a rental car. Hey, Tom, have a good life. You know, keep the dream going when you can. Goodbye. And never thought that I would see this vehicle again. Tom didn't think that. I didn't think. Nobody thought that. The only one that knew, the good Lord above. That's why I believe so heartily and got baptized last year and all. Everything that's happened on this mission. Because you know what? My family got, right after I give the motorhome away and all, within 2 months, they sold the house that my family was living in. We had no choice, no notice, no nothing. 30 days, get out. It was during the pandemic. Boom, I had nothing. My family, they went back here to Phoenix, Arizona. I had nothing. Tom, he said, come get the motorhome. I'm like, no, man, you know, that's you. He called me the second time a couple of days later, said, no, man, you can get it back on the road. This is you. Get back out there, fight. The Lord's not done with you. And I went out there and I picked it up. So that's where they say I scam everybody, that me and Tom scammed a bunch of people. Hell, Tom had the most tickets in the damn drawing. And if you go and you look at that's why I never took the drawing page down. If you watch the videos, look at the drawing and all, I did way more than I said that I'd ever do. Nobody was ripped off out of a penny. And Tom ended up with the motorhome. And for him to give it back to me, that was just a blessing from the Lord above.
I actually found out about it. I had no idea. I didn't do that. Rhonda, I didn't do that. I've had no contact. I've had no contact with this man since that argument on the sidewalk 3 years ago.
He's had
no contact with this man.
Bald-faced lie. I can play you plenty of conversations. I can send you plenty of texts. Just up to it was either yesterday or day before, they did a Zoom call together talking about me and everything. He's an absolute liar.
And I have gone down here to the police station. I have turned myself into the Greensburg Police Department. They had no idea what the hell I was talking about. They had to go research it.
But if he went into that Greenville Police Department tomorrow and said, look, I know who was doing this, who was pretending to be me. His name is Bryce, and he's a trucker out of Missouri. Why didn't he do that? He's had that option for a long time now. When Bryson come out and said, look, I've been pretending to be Scott Winslow Albert, it's me. Yeah, Bryson come forward to everybody, apologize at all. And then, yeah, who becomes friends? Scott Winslow Albert, Bryson, while that. But when he came out that first time, it was all about a joke. He strung me along. You go watch the videos. Oh, I'm going to give you money. I'm going to do this. I apologize, this, that, and the other. Don't name me in court. It was all bullshit. All between them. But last year, when he had a come to Jesus moment, he called me up. And of course, I'm thinking it's BS. And he says, no, man. He says, it went way overboard. I didn't mean this to go like this. To me, it was a joke in the beginning. But this is criminal and stuff. And he's, I'll apologize to you, and can I give you $600? And I'm like, okay, yeah, now I know this. He said, no, go down to the Western Union right now, and I'll send it. I walked to Western Union. He could only send $300. That was the limit. But he sent me $300, and I'm like, well, if he's just joking, I just made $300, And sure enough, the next morning, he sent me $300 more. And I said, you need to apologize to my Facebook platform, and I've got the video, the audio of where he did. And we're all happy with Bryson on Facebook. We all make mistakes. He apologized. We're all cool. The same with Rhonda. The one hit me with her car. She came, apologized. We're all cool. It's just these two that are trying to keep it up. And now they've involved their old ladies and family members. Steve Sprague, his old lady's involved. She has a fake account, Chevy Nova and all. I got plenty of proof of her saying things. And Woody's own admission, Shirley and Shirley's daughter is involved.
All of a sudden, Jim pops up on the radar, and that was it. They paid hell for that. Rhonda, I've had the Decatur County Sheriff's Office investigate me. He called the mayor's office so many times. The mayor called the chief of police, told him he better get his ass over at his office right now because he wanted to know what the hell was going on. He wanted to know who the hell Scott Albright's meth head Woody was.
Now, for someone to do that, and yes, I did that. I repeatedly called the mayor. All they had to do was put a warrant out and take it serious and find out that IP address. That's all that city had to do. And this would have stopped a long time ago. And hopefully the FBI gets involved and that all happens. But any of them at any time, even to this date, can go and find out the IP addresses. But they never asked me for none of the emails. Nothing from me. So they never even tried to investigate. When they first went to open the complaint, the chief of police tells me, well, I don't know if our prosecutor would be interested in prosecuting this guy. I'll turn it in. I knew from the very first phone call they weren't going to do a damn thing about this guy. He'd tell you that he got so many friends, and they're all in each other's pockets and stuff, evidently.
And who's for what was going on? At one point, I ended up over in the mayor's office apologizing to him and his secretary. Can you imagine how embarrassing that is, Rhonda? For me, I live in a small town. There's 28,000 in the county.
How embarrassing it going to be when these tapes get out? Oh, I hope somebody knows his mayor.
28,000 in the county. Okay? It's not unheard of for the mayor to be down here in the bar hanging out.
I hope he goes over there and offers the mayor a drink and says, hey, what's this YouTube that 420 Jim did about me.
Oh, right? There's 4 bars in this town. I can walk to each one of them.
Hey,
from my
Desiree.
house. I'd never drink and drive. You know? And so if you go back, I don't know how far back you've gone, but you'll hear Jessica talking about a senator friend of her. Jessica's from Indiana. She lives down here south of me. I know where all these people are. I know where they are. I know who they are. I know where they are. I know who their husbands and wives are. I know who their kids are. I have some idea of where they work. I have Corey's address. I have his address. He sent me a message. Daring me to look him up. Oh, you look me up. I'm Golden Gloves. I'll kick your ass. Well, Rhonda, I looked him up. I found out he's got it.
And he forgets. If he hadn't had no how did him and Corey go back and forth if he was never in this? See, that's the whole thing. What he's not telling you is all this was done on my Facebook with his stupid name, Woody LePage, which is Scott Winslow Albert. All he's doing this whole time is telling on himself.
A dead sister. Can you believe that? A guy talks smack about somebody's dead daughter, and he's got a dead sister. Well, then I found the family on the funeral home page, right? The memorial page. Well, there's this whole family, right? Corey sends me a picture of his backyard. I got to go mow grass. I don't have time for this.
Oh, and you will hear him admit in other ones how he's looked up my whole family. He knows where they're at, where my grandchildren go to school, all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Sends me a picture of his backyard, tells me he's worth $750,000. He ain't got time for me. He's got to go mow grass. I said, okay. Well, when I got his dad's name, I typed his dad's name into Google. Well, his dad's name came up on Zillow. Zillow's a real estate website. Well, I found the guy with that name that lived up here in this area, and guess what? I was able to take the photo that Corey sent me of his backyard, and I matched it up with the photo of the backyard on the real estate website that was showing the property. It was that easy, Rhonda. It was that easy. I had his address. Yeah, he wants to talk about daughters. He's got 2 of them. And Rhonda, I got pages in my notebook. I know their names. I know where they went to school. I'm from Indianapolis. I'm from the West Side, where his daughter's going to school. I know that place inside now. That's where I'm from. His daughter is going to school in my backyard, my hometown. He doesn't understand. So. I'm just off. I'm just trying to tell you some of my story. So, it's sad. I don't need anything from it. I've never asked anything, from anybody. But just know that what he says about me, what has been said, all that stuff that you read, yes, it's heartbreaking. It's vile. It's disgusting. But it's the only reason that you're only just now hearing from me, and you haven't seen posts and comments and nothing, because I got a really great girl who said, the cops are involved. Please don't do what Woody would normally do. Okay? And I've kept that promise for 3 years. That served me well, because now none of the cops, he could call cops all day long. There ain't nobody.
And he's
well, there's this whole family.
Oh, sorry. He's right. I could call the cops all day long and nobody would do nothing, and that's because of what he done.
He doesn't understand. So I'm just off. I'm just trying to tell you some of my story.
I'm sorry, I hit it again.
It's sad. I don't need anything from it. I've never asked it. He's breaking. It's vile. It's disgusting. But it's the only reason that you're only just now hearing from me and you haven't seen posts and comments and nothing? Because
it's almost
I got a
over.
really great girl who said the cops are involved. Please don't do what Woody would normally do.
I hear that he's coming to the Phoenix area for some sort of a science fair or something, and he's made a post in some sort of YouTube or something. He may come here to Black Canyon. So, of course, the sheriff and everybody's been notified and whatnot. Not that I'm scared of them and whatnot, but you never know what one of these idiots are going to do. But, if he really respected his girl, he wouldn't have brought the girl or the girl's child. I don't know how old she is, but in one of these tapes, he admits that it was Shirley's daughter that posted or whatever with Corey or did whatever in the school. And that if Corey ever knew it, that, yeah.
Okay. And I've kept that promise for 3 years. That served me well because now none of the cops, he can call cops all day long. There ain't nobody. Okay, Jessica, her senator friend. Well, I went through her Facebook, went through her friends. Well, guess what? One of her friends is a representative here in Indiana. So I looked.
And I'll tell you one thing about that. It's like bad cop protecting good cop, and vice versa, and this, that, and the other. There's good and bad in everything. I love our veterans, don't get me wrong. I love and respect our veterans. But you got bad ones out there. It's a piece of shit bad one here. So what's he do? He finds a veteran that's the senator, and the only reason Jessica got involved was because they ripped her off for $400. Okay? But listen what he did. He looked up all this stuff and found out, oh my God, there's a senator that's a veteran, and that's the one she's talking about. Listen to what he says.
Look him up. He's a veteran. I'm a veteran. Man, the next morning I had his secretary on the phone at 08 in the morning, and I promise you she doesn't ever want to speak to me again. I promise you that senator's or representative's secretary does not ever want to speak to me again. I ripped her up and down. I said, I want to know why a civilian has a veteran state representative trying to investigate another veteran that spent 27 years doing security. And
I would almost bet that senator wasn't trying to investigate no one. I do know, and we'd all know, because Jessica said, I've got a senator friend. I'll see if he can talk to someone, about finding out if anybody can do anything about this. It wasn't to investigate him or nothing. But now he's implicated a senator that I'm going to have to go in and bring into this and all, I guess. Because I'd like to hear what the senator has to say about it. But that's the way this guy is. He even got a senator just because someone made a comment on one of my videos.
Hey, Rhonda, I got to go. I'll chat at you later. Bye.
I think that's when he realized he said too much at that time. But that's the end of that one anyway. But, yeah. Now, my lives are normally not going to be about this. I want to upload them and put them on and do it that way, but it happened to come during my live today. I'm not going to say that it won't happen again. If I happen to want to do a phone call and it's during the time I do a live, well, that's what I'm going to do. Join in if you want. I appreciate everybody. They were 7 of these. Now it's up to 10. I got 3 more. Not all of them are 30 minutes. Some are 8 and 10, whatever. But, if you really care and whatever, you want to get the idea of what kind of a character this person is, make sure you go 1 through 8. And you don't have to do them in any certain order. I'm not playing them in any order. That's just how I got them. But everything's dated and whatnot. This guy says he ain't did nothing. And I can prove in 18 and in 21 and everything. Yes, he was deeply involved. Deeply, deeply, deeply involved. Which, that don't matter. I'll get things cleared this year at the Healing Fields, I'm pretty sure. By the time I go to court, may have to go to Indiana and do something with that senator, at least get a call. But now that I got this federal senator in on it, maybe that will tie in. I have no idea. That would be good. you know. Good Lord's taking care. That's all I can say. Um, for those that are wondering, like I seen the guy in the beginning, which is probably a troll, put the rat. How's this being a rat? Um, phone calls are legal. And exactly what I'll say about recording phone calls. Anybody that don't, this day and age, you're a dumbass. This day and age, you don't record your calls and stuff, especially conversations with cops and government stuff, you're a dumbass. They record you. You have the right to record them in most states. The whole thing is your state a one-party state? Well, FYI, Scott Winslow Albert, the one this voice is from, to Rhonda, they both live in one-party states. I, 420 Jim, live in a one-party state. Rhonda knew she was recording Scott. Perfectly legal recording back and forth. Rhonda knew I was recording everything she sends to me. Perfectly good conversation and all. They say I'm a public figure, and I can show them doing videos, hundreds of them on me. There's only a couple me doing these. There's literally damn near 400 they've done. And it's time to have a little bit back. You know what I mean? So I see them as public figures. You take on a public figure, well, why not put the truth out there? You know what I mean? Because the truth does come to light. I mean, look what's happening in the world right now. A lot of truth's coming to light. And I got baptized last year, and there's something I tell you, folks. I'm not going to roast in hell just to tell you a lie, no matter what. Just not going to do that. Okay? My life's been an open book for over 10 years on the internet now. People can make lies all they want. Just go back before their lie, like the Steve guy. Oh, he pretended to be the best buddy of mine in the world. Please come to New Hampshire, this, that, and the other. After he ripped Jessica off, the one from the senator, now he's one of the head trolls and trying to stir up all this shit. And they're crying at people's talking about to their boss or whatever. Hell, look what they've been doing to Jessica. They admit it, what they did to Corey, and not to mention what they done to me. But they act like victims. They ain't did this, that, and whatnot. When they do it, I guess, to get all the attention to themselves. I don't know. Me, I don't use a fake name, you know. Scott Winslow Albert. He will go by Woody LePage. His Facebook, his business, everything, all that. Woody LePage. Steve Sprague. He don't go with Steve Sprague on YouTube or nothing. He got the Bong Father. Should be the Con Father. My Facebook, my YouTube, everything is my name. I am proud of my name. They aren't. I am. Check this out. 4 is my first name, 20 is my middle, and Jim is my last. So I am damn proud of my name. But they don't even use theirs on their social media. Cowards hide. Cowards hide. Well, I'll be on Facebook tonight doing the next part. And the part I do tonight on Facebook, I think this was part 3. Part 4 or whatever. The next one will be Facebook tonight. At 7 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. It's just after 5 now, so just under 2 hours. I'll be on Facebook, and I'll probably do the next one on Facebook. So you can check me out there if you want. I'll be back on the YouTube. Even if I do it on Facebook, I've got to come and do it on YouTube tomorrow. But if you want to see it sooner, watch Facebook tonight. Look up my name, FOURTWENTYJIM. But you know the most important thing about this people that just finding out or whatever, go to 420JIM. That's 420jim.com and sign the petition. Nobody belongs in jail for weed. Or you can just simply Google 420JIM, hit the petition. Sign the petition. Nobody belongs in jail for weed, my friends. Nobody. And that's what I represent and what I'm about. It's all about peace, love, and cannabis for all. One team, one dream, united we stand. If we try, we can all get along. Good Lord willing, the creek don't rise. I'll be right back here tomorrow at 4:20. I'll be on Facebook in a couple hours. My fur babies, Jack and Lilu, love you. I love you. And the man above loves you. Never forget that. Peace out.